All right. So the host code was created to allow you to sell whatever you want in your short-term rental outside of the nightly rate. That could be anything from alterations like early check-ins and late checkouts to concierge items that we provide. You don't have to, things like massages, chefs, tour guides, etc. But you can really sell whatever you want. You can sell physical items like bottled water and sunscreen. You can do your own services like stocking their pantry or dog sitting. It's really just a way to bring in extra revenue and create a menu of stuff that guests can add on to their stay. So what happens is when you create a store, there's going to be some stuff in the store already, including some alterations like late checkout, early check-in, extra guest and pet fee. You can turn these on or off. You can delete them. You can edit them however you want, change the pricing, change the cancellation policy, notify other people when the purchase is made. There will also be a guidebook, so somewhere to put things like driving directions, local recommendations. We have found that providing information in your store is a great way to get guests to visit the store and purchase stuff, sort of an exit through the gift shop situation. And then concierge items will also be there, things like massage, chef, etc. You'll see them labeled with a local vendor tab. Anything that's labeled local vendor, we act as the go-between between the guest and the vendor. So we have a human concierge that will gather the guest details, will set up a booking with the owner. We only put a hold on the guest's card, and then once they approve that all the details line up, then we'll charge their card. They also, in addition to getting the vendor's information for the service, they also have our human concierge's phone number and email. So if anything comes up, either side can contact us. If the massage therapist can't find the house or can't find parking and the guest isn't answering their phone, or the guest says that the person's running late or they're running late, they can contact a human on our side. So if you click on those items, you can see what you earn. So for instance, if somebody were to buy the 60-minute massage for $200, you as the host makes $20. You don't have to do anything. We handle it 100%. There are 6 items that are available in every store in the US. That is massage through Soothe and Zeal. We use the same concierge interface as Airbnb Plus and the Hilton. There is private chefs through Food, Fire, and Knives is our national chef staffing service. We have an AI concierge where guests can put in their dates and location. It will recommend landmarks, restaurants, and activities. If they book any of those activities, you earn a percentage. Whole trip travel insurance through Faye. The guests can purchase cancel for any reason insurance and then deal with the insurance company rather than you. They need to cancel at the last minute. Baby equipment through Baby Quip, so things like strollers and cribs. And then also rental damage protection. So this is through Wavo. If you're somebody that takes deposits, this is a nice alternative. It's $30, which is the same amount it is on their website. The difference is that you make $750 of that. You're covered up to $1,500 for their stay. The guest puts in the address and their date that they're staying. It covers them for up to 10 days. So you can purchase multiple policies if you need to go over that. But then if the guest causes any damage, you don't have to deal with the guest. You can just submit receipts and evidence to Wavo, and they will reimburse you directly. So this is a nice alternative if you're somebody that takes deposits and does direct bookings. I was somebody that, I had a house in Tahoe, and every January, the same people wanted to book for summer. They wanted to book direct to save money. And then come July, after their stay, I was like, wait, what did they send me? Was that PayPal? Was it Venmo? Was it Zelle? Make sure I get the address right. I don't want to do, hit the wrong button and suddenly they're paying credit card fees on the deposit. So this is a nice alternative to it. It's an inexpensive policy they can purchase so that you don't have to collect those deposits. So in addition to that, depending on where you are, you'll have different stuff. My store is set to Joshua Tree, Palm Springs area where I manage properties. So it's stuff like meditations, hiking in the national park, Reiki, some of that stuff, but you'll have different stuff in your area. When you first create your stores, it's going to ask for the store name, the address, and the zip code. That zip code is what's going to populate your store with those local vendor items. So depending on where you are, you'll have different items than this. And if you're not seeing what you want, if you open up your store and you're like, oh, I really need a fishing guide, I'm in a fishing region, you can click on this request a vendor tab and we'd be happy to add whatever you want. So We do crowdsource all our vendors. We do this for a couple reasons. One is we want to make sure we're providing hosts that are actively selling with what they need to sell. And then also so that we're not just filling your store with random stuff. If we had a random person doing it, you might end up with hot air balloon rides and bungee jumping, but we really want you guys to tell us what you need. And it doesn't have to be specific. You don't have to put us in touch with the owner of the business. You can just say, I'm in wine country and I need a wine country driver. It can be really, really basic because we're going to come up with multiple options. So if a guest books it anyways, we have backups. It usually takes about 4 to 8 weeks to get these up on our basic plan and doesn't cost you anything. So feel free to ask for stuff if you open your store and you don't see it. In addition to those local vendor items, you're also going to see these alterations: late checkout, early check-in, extra guest and pet fee. If you're selling extra guest and pet fee through Airbnb or VRBO, keep doing it. This is just another place to catch the funds. So we've noticed a couple things. One is that a lot of people will book an Airbnb as one person looking for a house that sleeps 8, not realizing they were supposed to pay a pet fee, not realizing they were supposed to pay an extra guest fee. They open your store, they see it, and they send you the money. So the last thing we all want is to have to confront a guest after they check out saying, we saw pet hair, you owe us extra money for that, and then you're in an argument and they're about to leave a review. This gives them that extra chance to do it. And it's also really nice for when guests ask for it after the fact. A lot of times guests will tell you, oh, my friend wants to come and they want to bring a dog, and it's after the booking. And inevitably, they're asking you on a Friday night at 7 o'clock while you're sitting down to dinner at a restaurant. You're having to make an invoice for them, send it. 2 days later, you're like, did they ever pay that? The difference with this is they come to you with the money. So you're not having to send out an invoice and then wait for them to pay it. They come to you with their credit card information, and all of these are set to request and approve. Request and approve means that you have 5 to 7 business days to approve or deny that request. So it doesn't mean that they automatically are guaranteed it. They can ask for it, and then once you approve it, the money goes in your account. You can certainly remove that and just make it an instant purchase, but it's set to that automatically. Early check-in and late checkout, if you're not selling these, I highly recommend it. I was always the host that gave it away for free. The problem that I was having was that 90% of my guests were asking for it. I just knew, I dreaded turnover days because I knew that the guest was going to hit me with a late checkout request and an early check-in request. And I'm the nice host that I am. I would always try to accommodate them. But the problem I was having was then I'm on the phone with the cleaner. I'm on the phone with the guest. Can they check in at 2? The cleaner says 2:30. Can they drop off groceries? Once I instituted this and started charging for early check-ins and late checkouts, because I noticed a lot of people were doing it, it brought in extra revenue for sure. But also one of the biggest benefits was people stopped asking. I stopped getting a deluge of early check-in and late checkout requests. This way, I can help a few guests every month. I just can't help every single one, of course. And because it's set to request and approve, it doesn't mean that they get it. It just means they can ask for it. And if I can accommodate them, I will. If you're somebody that can't decide on this until the last minute, you can always put in the description, I can't decide until the day before. Please, request this the week of. And you can change these however you want. You can make it late checkout by the hour, early check-in, 2 hours of early check-in. You can change the price. I usually charge on my properties that are under $200 a night. I'll charge anywhere from $25 to $35 for 2 hours of early check-in. That seems to be a very effective way for me to collect extra funds and keep people at bay from asking. But I've seen people with luxury properties charge $100 an hour and get it. So it's really something you can experiment with to see what your guests are willing to pay. I've never gotten negative feedback about it. I've never gotten pushback. I've never gotten a bad review over it. If anything, I've gotten guests saying, thank you so much for offering this. We wanted to ask, but we were afraid to. It's just a good way to put boundaries around guests. And again, with these, they're super alterable. You can change the price. You can put a cancellation policy on it. You can even make it so that the guest has to negotiate the price with you prior to purchasing it. You can put how many days notice you need, even 0 days notice, which is what I do. Like you can have it up to the last minute. You just got to ask first. You can contact other people. So if you want to send an automatic notification to your cleaner that somebody purchased this, you can. You can require additional information. So if it's a pet and you want to know the pet size before they're able to purchase it, you can ask for all of that. In addition to these, you'll also see a guidebook tile. If you send out a welcome guidebook already, you can add your own link to this. But a guidebook is just somewhere to put things like what comes with the house is coffee, soap, shampoo, hot tub towels, etc., driving directions, local recommendations, all the stuff that guests ask for right after they book that you're probably tired of typing out. You can put it here. We've got a couple of free templates. One is a Notion template that's got like maps and photos and stuff. It's free. You just create a free Notion account. The other one's just a Google Doc. I can show you basically what it looks like. This is what I use. It's just a place to put all of this information so that I'm not having to keep repeating it to guests. Some people will put their whole house manual in here. It's really whatever you want to offer. But sending guests to your store for this information is a good way to get them to click that link. I noticed after I added my guidebook that my store sales doubled and tripled in stores because guests were just more frequently clicking the link to get that information and seeing what I had for sale and then purchasing stuff. So I do highly recommend it. Outside of that, you can add whatever you want. We've got a quick add section that allows you to pick from stuff that's sort of pre-made that are more popular items, things like return postage or damages even, where guests can set the price and send it to you once you've negotiated a price. Mid-stay cleans, pool heating is very popular, romance packages, firewood, parking, using the laundry room, if they broke a wine glass, if they want extra coffee, extra linens, if they want to store their bags there for the day. Or even other variations of our fees. You know, if you want to say early check-in 2 hours is one price, early check-in 6 hours is another price. You can do that. So you can, though, add any product you want. So you can click add a product. If there's anything outside of this you want to add, you just pick your category, like guest services, and then you would pick the item, create your own product where you can add your own photo and stuff. I'm just going to choose a pre-made item to speed things along, like pool heating. You put in the name, you put in the photo, you put in the price. The account I'm working off of is a pro account. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's $18 a month annually or $22 month to month. And that is for all of your stores. It is not per store, it's the total account price. But one of the big benefits of it is we do not take a commission on any items that you sell. So if you sell this for, say, pool heating is $100 a day, you will make $100 up to the first $1,000 in sales every month. If you are on our free plan, we take a 7% commission on anything you sell. So if it's a vendor item that we sell, you make 100% of it, like a massage. If it's something you're selling, like pool heating, on our free plan, it will say you make 93. It will calculate that 7% commission. On all items, we do add 8% plus 30 cents as a guest convenience fee. So for instance, on a pro plan, the guest would pay 108.30, you would make 100. On the free plan, the guest would pay 108.30, you would make 93. Sort of like an equitable split between you and the guests, a little like Airbnb, but we put a little bit more on the host end. Or you can say the guest sets the price if you want to negotiate the price prior to allowing them to purchase it. You can put in a description with any terms and conditions, including a cancellation policy. Your guests are actually going to have to check a box that says they've read and agreed to those terms and conditions. You can put in instructions after they purchase. So say that you're renting a bike and you want to say the bike is locked in the backyard, the code is 1234, you can, or instructions on how to turn on the pool heater, or that somebody will be coming over to the house to do it, whatever you want them to know about acquiring that item after they've made the purchase. You can say whether you need notice or whether it's available immediately. If you need notice, how many days notice you need. You can even say 0 days notice, which I do for my early check-ins and late checkouts. If you say that you need notice, you can say whether or not it requires approval, meaning they can't just purchase it. You have to say yes or no. You can say how many you have if it's a physical item and be notified when you're running low and at what number. We'll track your inventory. You can notify other people and you can notify as many as you want. So in addition to you getting notifications about sales or approvals, you can say, oh, I want to email my pool guy if pool heating gets purchased. You can decide whether they see the price or not. Another benefit to the pro plan is that you can add phone numbers. So you can text them. So like I could send a text to my pool guy and then decide whether I want to allow him to approve or deny that request or just see that the sale went through. So I'd probably just want him to see it because I want to sell that. So then finally, you can require additional information from your guests. This could be anything from, like I said before, pet size. If you're doing a pet fee, it could be t-shirt color if you're selling t-shirts. This is most commonly used by people that use one store for multiple properties. So if you do have, 10 homes in Tampa, they're all sort of the same price of everything, and you're mainly selling pre-order services, you can certainly do this and then just ask for the property address here to know which property of yours that they're asking about. And then once you save that tile, it's going to pop up in your store. So then once you create your tile, you can drag and drop things around by clicking the drag and drop button. Just click this here, and then you can move stuff wherever you want it. So say that this mid stay clean is super important to my guests. I can go ahead and move it up to the top of my store so they can see it first. And then however you organize your tiles is how they will always look. Anything new will pop up at the bottom. Once you've got your store organized, then you can go through and turn anything on or off. If there's any, these services you don't want to offer, you can just make them inactive. The next step is to click on the guest view. We do recommend checking this on your phone. The phone is only 2 tiles deep, so it's helpful to make sure that the keywords are appearing in your titles on the phone view. But this is how your guests will see. It'll look like this. They can click on things to sort of see the description and everything. When they go to purchase something, it's going to be grayed out, their ability to purchase it, until they've read and agreed to your terms and conditions, which is why a cancellation policy is super important here. And then because we do fight your chargebacks as well. So having a strict cancellation policy allows us to enforce that with the credit card company. If you required information, like I required an address, they also have to enter that before they can add it to their cart. And then we do ask them for the date of their reservation so that you can tie that back to a reservation. Since a lot of times people that are purchasing through the hostco aren't the actual person on the reservation. It could be a spouse or a friend or somebody else. They can make notes, they can do quantity. When they add it to their cart, it takes them to Stripe. Stripe is our secure payment provider, and that's also how we pay you. So Stripe's going to itemize the fee that you're receiving, and then the 8% convenience fee on top of that goes to the hostco. Once they make the purchase and you've approved it, we put the money in your Stripe account. We give you a Stripe Express account. If you already have Stripe, it'll probably recognize your information, but this is separate. This is like a corporate product that just works with the hostco. So all you do is you go into your payouts tab and you attach a bank account, use Plaid. It's pretty basic. And then what we'll do is we'll pay you out on the 7th of the following month. This is what your payout tab looks like. And so if any sales that were made in January, say, will go out February 7th. It normally takes 1 to 3 business days to land in that account. There's no fees associated with that account. There's no transaction fees. It's just how we do our banking. So you can see how it looks here. You can even search through your payout history to see different payouts from different months. And if you're on Pro Plus, you can even have different payout methods for different stores. So I can put different stores to different bank accounts on Pro Plus. So once you've got that set up, then the final step is to share your store. So you'll see the share store button in the upper right-hand corner. When you click on that, it's going to generate a unique URL that you can then throw into your auto messages. We even have messaging templates to give you some ideas of what to say and when to say it. So we do recommend sending it out when guests first book. If you're mostly selling pre-order items, our most successful hosts will send another message a week or 2 before check-in, just reminding them if they want to take advantage of these items, now is the time. And then again at check-in, just really tailoring each message around what they could be buying at that time. Simply sending a message that says, hey, we have a store, click the link. You're not going to get a lot of traffic. And if you're not getting traffic, you're not making sales. But if you can entice them to click the link by saying, hey, if you want a late checkout or you want a local service like a massage, click the link. You want to intrigue them a little bit about what else you have to offer to get them to click through. So once you've got your message, you can copy that. You can throw that right into the auto messaging of your OTA or PMS. This is Airbnb properties I actually manage. These are messages that really go out. So when a guest books this house, it says, thanks for booking. We'll be in touch a day in advance with your door code information. In the meantime, click the link below for a welcome guide with info about the house and tons of local recommendations. There's my link. You can also use this link to book an early check-in, late checkout, or get a local service like a massage. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. So this is the first time my guests are introduced to the store, and it accomplishes 3 things. One, if you have questions for me about, what restaurants to go to and how to get to the house, click the link. Don't ask me. If you want an early check-in or late checkout, it's going to cost you. Click the link. And if you want a concierge service like a massage or a chef, again, click the link. Done too many giving people recommendations. That person's not available. They ask me for more names. I suddenly find myself playing travel agent when I'm just a guy with a house. So it just helps minimize guest contact and streamline it. And then help put boundaries around stuff. Even just saying that it costs to ship an item back, or that there's an event fee if you want to have, a birthday party there, or a filming fee if you want to shoot your branded, YouTube content. It's just helpful a lot of times for these guests to know that there's fees associated with this stuff, so that they're not just asking to ask or just doing those things without permission and then saying they didn't know. So once you've got that set up, then you will get emails and texts from us of purchases. Otherwise, you don't need to log into the store a ton. If you have any outstanding approvals within the store, there'll be a big red bar up here that says you have outstanding approvals, so that you know what you still need to approve. You can also share your store through signage. We have pre-made signs that you can print out. When you download the sign, the QR code will correspond with your store. So you can always download this, cut that QR code out, and put into your own sign, like, hey, this bottled water is for sale, scan the code, or hey, want a late checkout, scan the code. You can track your sales through our sales tab. Each store will have its own individual sales, where you can also pull up receipts that have all the guests' detailed information, or you can refund their order directly if you've not been paid out for it. We also have an orders tab that has all of your sales across all stores that you can filter by store, or by, whether an item's waiting for approval or completed. You can search by dates, etc. You can pull up the receipts here as well, or refund orders here as well for guests that need to cancel their stay. If you have multiple stores, this is what your dashboard will look like. Each store will have its own unique URL that goes into the auto messaging. This is how I like to do it. I like having a store for each property, partially because I like when I get a text that says, Cozy Winter Cabin, late checkout March 6th, I can say, okay, I'm mentally already there. I know where I'm at, and I can check that calendar right away. But you can use one store for multiple properties. Most of our hosts actually do. And then just request certain information like property address on certain items that you need to know that information. So there's a couple ways to set up your stores quickly. One is to go to our partners page. We have integrations with all of these OTAs and PMSs. You can download all your properties instantly through this, and it'll create a store for each one. Through some of our guest-facing softwares, we even have tiles in the guest-facing software for their host co-store. But if you do that, then the quickest way to build your stores is not just to save an item, but you can actually save it across multiple properties. So if all of your properties are extra guest over 4 and they have the same name, then you can go in here, and rather than save your changes, you can save changes and add tile to all stores. And then it will copy that exact tile to all of your stores at once. Or if you're creating a new tile, it will just automatically add that tile exactly as it is across all stores. And then you can go in and make minor changes. The other way to do it is to duplicate a store. So you can go in and duplicate. If you do this, then it will take the store exactly the way it is and duplicate it over and over. And then in that case, you would go in and just change the address and zip code of each store, and then make minor changes to pricing and stuff. Probably what most people do is they'll go in and they'll build all their stores first, and then as they add stores, they just duplicate. That's what I do. Anytime I get a new property that I manage, I just duplicate an existing store, make some changes to it, and it's good to go. Let's talk a little bit about what people are selling to give you some ideas of how you could be using the HostCo. So the thing that people are most commonly selling is alterations, early check-in, late checkout, extra guest pet fee. I'm seeing property managers literally sell thousands of dollars of this a month, enough to pay for another employee, which is why it's in every store. Local vendor items, so massages, chefs, tour guides, etc. We do everything, you do nothing. You just collect commission on those things. And if there's any services you're not seeing in your area, again, you can always recommend them. Just submit a request here even. In-home items. So if you want to sell things like firewood, souvenirs, sunscreen, etc., you can. We do suggest marking stuff up 2 to 10 times the actual price. So whatever it is that, you're guests would pay in a hotel, feel free to charge that. They're not going to get upset about $5 earplugs at 2 in the morning. They are going to be grateful. They do not have to drive around looking for an open drugstore in the middle of the night. And we just recommend locking stuff up. So whether it's putting it in the owner's closet, putting it in the garage and giving them a code, putting it in a closet and you hide the key. I actually have a dining room buffet at my house in Death Valley because it's very remote. I put a little $2 latch from Home Depot on the doors and a luggage lock, and they get the code to that luggage lock if they purchase something. And then that way I can offer extra amenities without just giving it away. I was doing a free fire log, a free Duraflame log for every night of their stay for the fireplace. The cleaner finally said, they're not actually doing a fire, they're just taking the logs. And so I was like, oh, well, I'm handing everyone $7 a night. So rather than that, I'll give you a free fire log and then I will sell you additional out of my cabinet if you really want them. Homeowner supplied services. So if you want to offer things like fresh flowers, pre-stocking their pantry, you can. We just recommend, setting it to request and approve to check your availability. But if you want, your cleaner or a friend wants to make extra money, you can certainly offer their services. Commonly broken or damaged item like wine glasses, towels, sheets. I can't tell you how many times guests have said, I broke 3 wine glasses. What do I owe you? And I said, don't worry about it. But if they want to pay them, I'm not going to turn down the $20. They can just purchase it through the store. It's one less invoice to send out. Extra supplies. So your guests love your soap, your shampoo, your coffee. You are using a local product. You can sell it right out of the owner's closet. Pool and spa heating is very popular. Rentals, bikes, kayaks, baby equipment, extra linens for a hide-a-bed. You can even put a waiver form as a hyperlink in the description and set it to request and approve and require that they fill out that waiver prior to approving the rental. Or like with extra linens, we put it in a bag, a zipper bag with a zip tie, and then they can only cut that once they purchased it. Otherwise, we know they used it. Variable price items, things like postage, event fees, damages, shoulder stays, even just making them aware through your store that these are available. You can then set it to guest sets the price and then coordinate a price with them through how you normally communicate with them, and then they can send you that amount of money through here. So that's how people are most commonly using our store. Finally, we'll talk a little bit about pricing. So the host code is free to use. Our basic plan is $0. With that plan, we do take a 7% commission plus credit card fees. So, and then on all plans, we add 8% plus 30 cents. So this brings it to about 18% commission on the basic plan, which is similar to Airbnb, which I think is now 20%. You can have as many stores as you want with this. You get email notifications. You have access to our local vendors and access to customer support. Our Pro plan is $18 a month if you buy it annually or $22 month to month. This is not per store, this is per account. So if you have 100 stores, you can still just pay $18 a month total. We don't punish you for having extra stores. And you get a 0% commission on the first $1,000 in sales every month. So the average person on our platform is selling between $400 and $500 a month. This actually makes it cheaper than our basic plan. So with the commissions on the items you sell, after you've sold like $200 to $300 worth of stuff, this becomes cheaper. So this is actually cheaper for our average host. And it includes text notifications in the US and Canada. You get Google Calendar invites for pre-order items. You can add as many affiliate or web link tiles as you want. So you could actually use this as a link tree. So if you're sending out multiple links, you could just add those links to your store and just use the store link so that the guests have access to everything. Meaning you could put in, here's a link to a restaurant reservation on OpenTable, or here's a link to my top 10 hikes in the area. But you can also use it for affiliate stuff. So everyone's always asking me where I get my sheets. So I'm going to put a link to Amazon where I bought my sheets from, because then I don't have to figure that out every time, but also I'll make money on it. Or I'm going to sign up to be a Viator affiliate and sell Viator tours. So you can monetize this as well using any kind of affiliate program. If you want to try this free for a month, I'll throw a code in at the end, InfoPro76. You get a free month of Pro to try it out. If at any point during the first 30 days that you decide you don't need it, you can always just email support. They'll move you back to basic, no questions asked. We're not going to get you on the phone like at a timeshare meeting. We will just automatically downgrade you. You don't lose your stores. We just take away the Pro features. Pro Plus Annual or Pro Plus Monthly is our property management plan. This is a 0% commission on the first $5,000 in sales every month. The other benefits to it are multiple payout accounts. So if you're an investor or a property manager and you want to send the money directly to the owner, you can with their own bank account. You can also have co-hosting with this, meaning that other people can log into the account on your team. You can have a dedicated success manager, somebody that can help answer any questions or review what you've done to make sure you're optimizing the platform. You can have priority local vendors. So if you request, this hot air balloon place in your area, rather than wait 4 to 8 weeks, we can usually have you up in 2 to 3. So you get priority onboarding those. Enterprise is all of this plus a 0% commission on all of your sales on the host end. So if you have lots and lots of properties, you can have custom white labeled stores and emails as well. So it'll look like your stores and the emails are coming from you, not us. You can have branded in-listing collateral, meaning we can make signage and magnets for your property management company. You can have one-on-one onboarding too. So we can actually walk you through everything online and then build your stores for you if you know exactly what you want but don't have the time. If you just want the white labeling, you can purchase that for $1,000. Go to our pricing page and click Learn More to see what that looks like. Or we can build your first store for you for $300, and then you can just duplicate it over and over if you just don't have time to build that first store. So after this demo, you're going to get a link from us to start your store, as well as an abbreviated demo. Otherwise, you can go to our main page, thehost.co. I'll point out a couple things here. One is under Learn More. You can click on the local services search to put in your zip code and see what services are available in your area if you want to know. But again, you can always ask for whatever you want. Otherwise, click that Get Started button. That's going to take you to the calendar that you probably signed up for this demo with. And then underneath that calendar is the link to start your store here. So I'm going to wrap up this recorded version. And thank everyone for coming. That is the demo. If you want to take off, you can. I will, for everyone here still, I'm going to open it up to questions, send you the promo code, my email, etc. But for those in the for the recorded demo, that is everything. Thanks for coming, and good luck with your stores.